ever since she left, it's been many more cigarettes. The only thing now that'll take away my breath. I'm okay with being alone, I say when I am with the others. I'm okay with not having a home, I say when I am undercovers. I don't think much of myself, but I think a whole hell lot of you. Now I scream on the inside till it pushes up my mind and then I spew. Turn up the music, drown out the other hues. This is less thinking and a bit more bruise. What has been done is nothing to do with the fact that I am bruised. I walked in with my scars to point out the fact that I have more than a few. Well, what else is new? Fall down, get up with new faults instead of keeping me unglued. Just started a relationship, it was an upside view. Realized that I was falling over, ran up before I was next in queue. Now isn't that cute? Same thing alone as always, keeping my head up by the noose. Once was, now never will be. A cap on the covers of these sheets. Never before would I think it's over. I watch everything smolder. They say chase your dreams, so all I do is sleep. Walk far enough away to keep these legs from seating. Receding thinking, adding spaces while they're leaving. Bark away, doggy, bite the hand that stays feeding. You are now not talking, that must be hard coming from me. Breath still spells out yesterday's pussy. Mark my mark, this whiskey's got me fishing for a brand new love that's not available to people like me. Back to the fact that Back to the Future was after the fact that the last time I was new and knew that one was better than two. Better for you that you never get close, because I'm a rotten willow weeping for the clues. Put on the blues and listen for the first and last time that I'm truce. Once was, now never will be. A cap on the covers of these sheets. Never before would I think it's over. I watch everything smolder. Once was, now never will be. A cap on the covers of these sheets. Never before would I think it's over. I watch everything smolder.
Uh-huh. Here we go. That's lovely. Look here, you don't get to tell me what to do, can't make me. I don't really give a good goddamn lately. Sick of everyone and everything, no maybe. Always in my ear, about to drive me crazy. Get the hell away from me, don't wanna hear you talking. I can buy, it's only I and ain't no other option. Doing me, I'm telling you, you better take precaution. Scamming is no amateur, so pro exhaustion. California, all around the world, back to Boston. Tell them I be doing what I want and living awesome. You don't want a problem with me, I don't wanna start one. Microphone gonna blow your heart all apart, son. Since NWA with O'Shea, I've been on the hustle for pay with no raise. Is he busy busting the flow? They go crazy. When I tickle with the tongue, they kick it with both legs. You don't have to like how I live my life. No. Sleeping all day, go and kick it all night. No. Might not be good, but it feels alright. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Sometimes it feels like I don't belong. Everyone's against me, I'm always wrong. But it feels so good when I sing my song. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. I say what thou wilt. Something's gone wrong and my brain's on tilt. I don't give a fuck, feeling no guilt. Still, I'm never gonna stop, wanna see your blood spill. I'm coming for the neck, I left your head backwards. You can go against me, limbs will get fractured. Been a breast snatcher, now forever after. Rappers got me cracking and cackling, evil laughter. Back to the point, no faking. No, it ain't lovely when everyone's flaking. Talking what they want, then they breaking on their front. Come to wonder why I wanna get their face apart. But bump another beat, gotta beat it on my own. TWID3 and I'm staying home. Funny cause so many owe me money, now they know just how easy I can go from being friendly to a foe. You don't have to like how I live my life. No. Sleeping all day, go and kick it all night. No. Might not be good, but it feels alright. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Sometimes it feels like I don't belong. Everyone's against me, I'm always wrong. But it feels so good when I sing my song. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. My doctor said I got Skittles pox. Gonna give me shock therapy with kilowatts. Push note says 20,000 in my inbox. Microphone gun to the dome, spitting thin thoughts. Watch what you say, I be up a little bit. And with purple ammunition, I come cock with clips. I took for 10 years, my peers talking shit. Then hit me for stage time with Hush Love legit, huh? Fuck that, have a nice day. Suck a fat dick, the price has been paid. I burnt the bridge down, I watched the bitch blaze. I took my nutsack and stuck it to your face, but pumped at my pace, so come the fuck on. Not even a thought no more, they just gone. Here's a middle finger with a dedicated song. Nah, 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 nah. You don't have to like how I live my life. No. Sleeping all day, go and kick it all night. No. Might not be good, but it feels alright. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Sometimes it feels like I don't belong. Everyone's against me, I'm always wrong. But it feels so good when I sing my song. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah.
Check it out, homie.
I say to myself, write one more song, it'll be no problem. Shout out to Sergeant Stockwell on this one.
Ho! Ho!
Stay hydrated, America.
Ho! So.
Yeah.
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Gold jacket.
Gold jacket.
Well, hello, Mrs. Jones, you have a beautiful home. I can see you in the details, you've really made it your own. So what's the recipe for these? I simply must know.
Gold jacket. Gold jacket.
Hey, you guys. Yo, stop staring, Larry. Make the weather, what? You wanna live that same day forever? Shit, I'm low on gas and you need a jacket, so put it on and some gold lens glasses. Beware you bat your lashes at a smoking a pancake with Liz Hurley, had the Graham and Beyonce. That breakfast can't wait, it's a caught dragon. See my 211s, they won't be caught dragging. Look alive, I'm right on time. I am right where I need to be, the reason for rhyme. Now fit for prime time, so I'm bringing it live to your favorite dive bar. This is Saturday night. Say it. Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Gold jacket.
Gold jacket.
Well, hello, Mrs. Jones, you have a beautiful home. I can see you in the details, you've really made it your own. So what's the recipe for these? I simply must know.
Gold jacket. Gold jacket.
Know what I'm saying? Alright, keep your jacket golden pony boy and stay outside. Carve that turkey with a switchblade knife, now that's slight. Get up underneath that motherfucker, get right. Swing away and aim for stadium lights. Stay afraid of the heights, they might suck your blood. But the sun is coming out and Millhouse is coming up. That is where the jets buck. One out Willie your boss. Take your wishes back from well water within trust. Show your brush strokes, let your soul glow. Throat cut from an ego stroke. It's time and good to go. But yo, gold doesn't glow, gold doesn't corrode. So if you hear the rain, that's life. Alright, see ya. Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that.
Gold jacket.
Gold jacket.
Gold jacket.
Well, hello, Mrs. Jones, you have a beautiful home. I can see you in the details, you've really made it your own. So what's the recipe for these? I simply must know.
Gold jacket. Gold jacket.
The juice is loose, the juice
Please, throw down your guns.
Yeah, I'll have it, I've had it, I like it. Smoke, mirrors, and magic, it gets me excited. I'm eating just desserts with big ass spoons. I want parades, whipped cream, and cherry moon. I want that too soon, too much. Come up, it's want that hand to move mouse like master of puppets. But fuck Stock and fuck Lars Ulrich. He walked the dope beat until that beef got stuffed in.
You never wanted to hurt anyone. Who would do such a thing?
Oh, it's hard to tell. A roving gang of thugs, a blackmailer, a gay lover, an angry husband.
Yo, show me what you got. Come out your pockets, you better run, fool, run your jewels, unfold your wallets. I'm that capable culprit, unmistakable targets. I do not make mistakes and stay prepared for carpet. This offside is up, so I don't snatch. The juice is loose, the new batch is hatched. The glove fits, I can't even take that. But that's my memory, so I'm here to take that.
Get a hold of yourself. Good cop. Needlessly cut down and ambushed by some cowardly hoodlums.
No way for a man to die.
Yeah, you're right, Ed. A parachute not opening, that's the way to die. Getting caught in the gears of a combine. Having your nuts bit off by a Laplander, that's the way I want to go.
What a great way to bring Get Local Minnesota back to all of you. Hello, folks. My name is Pasty, and I am your incredibly awkward radio host. Yes. Tonight, we have none other than Jess Seahorses, one of the brilliant minds behind the Galactic Get Down. 4 years running, and this festival is one of the highlights of my entire year.
Aww. Mine too.
It's good times.
Yeah.
So how you doing?
Doing well. I'm excited to finally be sitting down with you. We've talked about doing this for a while now.
Started talking about this probably right around a year ago to this time.
Yep.
Wanted to get it leading up to last year.
Yeah, with last year I was working a full-time job leading up to Galactic, so trying to do 40 hours a week at my job and then trying to squeeze in 40 hours of festival prep a week is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a double gig. Gotta keep trucking at that.
Yeah. Hopefully someday this will be my only job if we can.
There you go. I mean, every year it multiplies.
Yeah,
something's got to give at some point. This thing is an engine and it's running. Right,
we have definitely decided this train is not stopping. So, it's been really cool to look at it from year one when we had, I don't know, maybe 300-400 people there in like an empty field on the top of a hill in the sun. And now we've moved to like a beautiful valley in the sun with a lot more people.
Horses.
Yes, and horses. Yes. I know. I was hoping to get to ride one last year. I've never ridden a horse before, but just time did not permit. But I saw a bunch of kids riding around on horses. That looked fun.
Yeah. Hey, it's good addition to the scenery. And out there in Houston, Minnesota, it's beautiful.
Oh my gosh,
and
right?
I mean, Galactic Get Down, Houston, it's every year
Houston, we have a party.
Yes, every year thing seems more and more faded, just like it's meant to be, and it boggles my mind just being an outsider. It's felt
that way from Jump Street. Just John and Joe and I coming together on this like beautiful nerdy project it felt like the stars aligned for that for sure. Where each of us have certain strengths and certain weaknesses, and we've really always just been able to pick up like where the other one ends. Like Joe's always the sweet diplomatic one. I'm kind of, what does he call me? The battle axe.
Yeah, you gotta get it done.
And John's great with planning and logistics and budgets and making these amazing interactive spreadsheets that just like blow my mind all the time. So, it's been a perfect kind of team of just, awesome, epic, spacey proportions. I couldn't be happier.
So every year up until now, it's been 2 stages at the Galactic Get Down with no overlapping music.
No overlapping sets.
Now, this year, we've added a 3rd stage, yes?
Yeah, yep. The launch pad is new this year. It is sponsored by Kyanite Concepts, who I can't shout out enough. They're a company that works with young artists, like 12 to 16 years old, and they work with putting their art into creative apparel and stuff like that. A lot of those proceeds are set up into a college fund for those artists, or a furthering education fund. So that's been really cool. Cena, love that concept, love that company. I'm super excited to partner up with them this year on that stage.
But the burning question is, with 3 stages, is there still no overlapping music?
Unfortunately, that's like totally impossible to do. The launch pad is only going to be running, I want to say, from like noon to 4 p.m. During the day, and then we'll be running the silent jams out of there, coming back with the Romer Dome Familia.
I got to partake in that last year. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. We're setting that up kind of over by where Fire Camp was, so you'll be able to, like, during those late night silent jam set, you'll be able to take in Fire Camp performance and check that out at the same time.
Yeah,
so.
And even at that point, you could probably potentially catch the silent jams from the comfort of your campsite.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't have to be down at the stage. You know, you can go up, get a receiver, bring your own headphones if you want. You're going to get probably a lot better sound quality if you bring your own headphones. But, you know, setting that up kind of in the middle of the grounds this year is going to enable that signal to reach further. So, you know, if you've got an AM/FM tuner, you can tune in at your campsite. Should be pretty fun. I wish last year I couldn't partake because my 2 walkie-talkies kept screwing with the signal. So I got to listen to it for like a second and then had to go do some stuff. So I was watching L-Dub kill it though. Yeah, we're super pumped. Zach Deputy's Silent Jam Saturday night is going to be really, really epic. I don't know. Zach Deputy hasn't been back to a festival in the Midwest in what feels like years. I think the last time I saw him was Plunderfest, like 2012, maybe 2011.
Galactic Get Down gets a whole 2 sets.
Yes.
Exciting.
We're super excited. He's going to stay with us for the weekend. Zach's a really nice dude, too, so I'm sure he'll be walking around the campgrounds. You know, I know him and that one guy get along fairly well, so I wonder if we can get some kind of...
I'm so glad he keeps coming back every year, too.
It would honestly, like, feel weird for us not to have Mike back.
Right.
Like, he's been such a part of this, and he's just... the nicest guy. I cannot sing the praises of Michael Silverman enough. He's just a sweetheart. So funny. Hoping I can get him to do some magic this year. See what his tour schedule's like. Yeah.
So who are some of your most anticipated artists? Who do you want to not be working for?
Well, you know, I always like to take time off to see the Dead Larry set. That's kind of that's just the accumulation of the weekend for me. Last year I cried through like literally their whole set, just parked on my golf cart backstage with our Rogue Fire Camp off to the side. Like, it was amazing. It was so, I honestly I never feel more alive than looking out at that crowd. You know, there was 1,000 people just having absolutely the time of their lives, and I get goosebumps just thinking about it. You know,
being in the middle of it is my favorite thing, and just looking at everywhere, it's just heads, and everybody's singing along, and it's just, holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, beyond, I mean, every Dead Larry set, always. But Zach Deputy in the Sunshine, I'm really excited for. The Lowest Pair was was a band that I pushed for, sort of. We were really trying to fill this time between, like, that one guy's really, like, driving, spacey bass, and Zach Deputy's kind of, like, chill loop awesomeness. And we wanted to get some female energy in the middle of that. And just, man, The Lowest Pair, if you haven't heard them, is this little girl with a banjo with this beautiful voice. And I can't remember his name, but he's in Horseshoes and Hand Grenades as well. So it's just,
they're really good. And most of the artists on the lineup for this year you can listen to on Spotify, which is...
Yep. We have a playlist, too, Galactic Get Down 2019, that we've kind of highlighted all of our artists, get a couple tracks from each, get a good flavor for the whole festival.
Yeah, I have a huge Galactic Get Down throughout the years playlist. I just
do
it every year, and it's like album dumps. I just get everything in one place. I love it because leading up to it, that's all I want to listen to. I want to live in it. I want to be there right now.
I know, me too. It's honestly,
it always seems like it's so far away, and like it's coming.
It's a month from today. Actually, we'll be opening gates, and like I'm so ready. I'm always ready. I was born ready for this, but at the same time, like, Oh my God. There's always still so much work to do.
Yeah, the work's just about to start.
And, we work all year. We plan. We're together all the time. We're talking all the time, and it just feels like our whole lives lead up to this event every summer. And I always get really depressed at the end because it's all over and like everything we did and it all happened so fast, but
at least with every end is a new beginning. We plan for the next year.
Luckily, that has been the case for us. Yes, we haven't lost our ass on anything. We've always been able to continue to do this again. We're really blessed. We have a pretty amazing Galactic fam that comes back year after year. Is really, we have a wedding happening this year. The couple decided to get married at Galactic, so that's always cool.
So this is the first one since the last Valhalla, then?
Yep, it's our first Galactic wedding. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. I did perform. That's why I got ordained, actually. It was that Valhalla wedding. Oh, that was fun.
I remember that.
Oh, that was so fun with the sunset and everything. It was
a good year.
beautiful.
That was my first festival in close to a decade.
Oh, wow.
And I needed it so bad at the time.
You were living down there at that time, right?
I was living down there. It was right after the mother of my children left. I had my kids full time. My dad needed some help. I had him move in. That weekend he moved in was Valhalla, so he took the kids for me for the weekend, and I scooted on down the road. I needed the festival so badly, and I'm so happy I went.
That's so great. I'm super glad. Yeah. That was the start. I mean, Valhalla was the start of a lot of really just beautiful things for a lot of people. When I was booking Kind Country back in those days, and they were still kind of like a four-piece that didn't really know what direction they're going in, and like those boys have blown up in a way that I'm so
Hard
proud.
Times, I have that thing on repeat now.
So
Almost
good.
as hard as I had Smoke and Joe on repeat last year.
We were super bummed to not have Kind Country back this year, but they are playing Northwest String Summit, which is huge. Like, that's such a big deal. We're so proud. No, definitely can't get mad, right? You better be back.
I'm going to Minneapolis sometime this year to see them for sure. I got to see them every year. I've seen them every year since the last Valhalla.
Well, I got a couch and a murder cat. You can come hang out. Yeah, that was tough this year. We like to have a pretty heavy bluegrass showing, and this year was tough with Northwest String Summit going on. Hullabaloo in Nebraska is a big bluegrass festival that's happening that weekend. Moon Dance is that weekend. So we had to go a little bit more out of our general genre range, which is great because we really do want to keep it eclectic.
I love like the last Valhalla was my favorite thing in the world because every single set was so worldly different from the last one you saw. It was just
that was hard to put a lineup together for because I like to try and keep it, match energies or like match the flow at least. And that that lineup was so diverse. We did our best.
I liked it.
Oh man, that was the days when I thought I could have music go like 22 hours a day. Jesus Christ. You live and you learn, I tell you what. Trying to like stage manage when I didn't make any plans for that. I had no idea what like Joe Scarps is always so anal retentive about like we need this perfect load in lane for the stages, which obviously we so do, and I'm so glad that he's so on that. But that was something I didn't even think about in those Valhalla days. I had no idea what I was doing. Carson and I, we worked hard and we loved it, but we had no clue what we were doing.
It worked, and it brought people together. I never thought I would see that many people at a festival down by Redwood Falls.
Yeah. I miss the goats a lot. I like horses. Horses are cool or whatever, but like I miss the goats a lot.
I had a pretty embarrassing moment. Kind Country bled into Headband Jam and The Joint.
Yes, The Joint. That's a project they've still only done for me, and it was so good.
And I may have been at the pinnacle of my experience at the time, and I was a dancing fool. And at the time, I worked at Casey's, and my boss's mom is friends with the owner of the property, so she was out there. And so I'm a fool in front of her. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck right now.
Beautiful. That's exactly what I want people to feel at festivals.
It was
like
so good.
we had I've loved seeing like people's, you can see it in their face sometime, that moment when they just stop giving a fuck and they're like, yes, I'm just gonna do me and be me right now. And it's really a beautiful thing to see. Can sometimes get a little a little weird, like when we were still at Good Enough, the owner of that property put on a loincloth one night and ran around, which was a little awkward, but I had to give him props. I was like, do you, man? He's like, I've never felt this free on my own property. And I was like, shit, this is your property. Do whatever you want. But please quit trying to pick fights with people in the parking lot.
He was an interesting character.
He was a
He
character.
came around a lot. We had a lot of conversations with him.
He was stoked. He was very happy to be having that festival there. But I'm glad it's been really cool to move out of that space and like into somewhere with some infrastructure and some more room. Even if we had power and stuff out there, we wouldn't have been able to stay. There was just no room for expansion, unfortunately. I do miss the river, kind of, but I'm also super glad to not have to worry about anyone drowning or getting lost, because I have to apparently explain to grown adults that real rivers do not go in circles. A loop is different than a circle. Didn't know I had to explain that to grown-ass folks, but
Yeah, I unfortunately never made it for a float at Galactic.
I didn't either. Don't feel bad.
One of my regrets. But the first year I was there, and I was just there to enjoy it, and I didn't want to miss anything at the site. And the second year, we were podcasting.
Yeah. Well, I only made it down there to yell at people, or when our light guy and I went down like for sunrise the Thursday before everyone showed up, and I almost lost my cart in the river. That one didn't beep when it was in reverse. So I super thought I was not in reverse. Whoops. But didn't lose the cart. I was just like, oh my god, Joe Scraps is gonna be so pissed. I made sure nobody told him for like days. I didn't let anybody know until Sunday. I was like, all right, now everyone can tell him that I almost lost the cart in the river. Man, I'm honestly surprised all these years I haven't killed myself on a golf cart yet. Like, I almost killed Dizzle and I last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the guy who does our poster art.
Yep.
We were going up the hill. I, for some reason, had it in my head.
Get down already.
Oh, good. Diz is the best. He's such a sweetheart. He's a killer artist, killer dad. He's out there living the dream and making it work, and I love that.
He's a really good guy. I don't know him too much personally, but from what I know,
he's a man of few words.
Yeah.
But he's a sweetheart. But yeah, I had it in my head somehow that we could take me and him and all of the plywood letters up to the top of that hill to set them up on a golf cart. And that was not the case. I ended up hip checking him off of the cart, tossing him off as I was like tipping over. Oh my goodness. I came down about a foot maybe from Campbell Flair's booth, just like foot floored on the brakes. It was like some Fast and the Furious shit. I pull up like Mike and Tone just in the window like my whole life flashed before my eyes then. But still alive, somehow.
Campbell Flair is another huge staple of Galactic Get Down, or Seahorse Productions events in general.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
I know.
It's a great thing every year when I get to eat those street tacos.
Those pork tacos, dude. Oh my god. Why? It's so good.
They're always out by the time I get up there. Every year.
Yep. Poor Campbell. They were our only food vendor at the first Galactic, and we didn't know what to expect. We had no idea how many people were coming, and poor Mike was going to town like twice a day. They ran out of everything every day, multiple times. It was just him and Tone too. It was just the two of them. They worked their asses off that weekend, fed everyone. It was pretty impressive, but we had to make sure we didn't do that to them again.
I'm always surprised how much truck food we eat at Galactic Get Down, because we always bring enough that we don't have to, and then like there goes all of our fun.
It's like hot. Who wants to cook? Like
right,
you got shit to do. Like I don't know. We have good vendors.
I'm festival hardcore. I bring like trail mix and canned SpaghettiOs with meatballs, and I just eat it
cold. I cannot. No.
If I don't gotta cook nothing, if I can just eat it raw the way it is, I'm happy.
I usually just bring some snacks and eat like one vendor meal a day. Or in the case of Galactic, I gotta like hope someone tosses a wonton at me as I drive by. Like.
Oh, I look at it with what your Valhalla mentality was, where you go through hell to reach paradise.
Absolutely.
So it's like rough it for the weekend because it's totally worth it.
Oh yeah. We've been lucky with Galactic all these years. There's been no serious weather. There's been, it's generally it's hot, but it's pretty mild otherwise. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. I'm trying to find a place with trees. Like, I've had financing in place for a year or two to purchase like a 40-acre property to build our own venue on. But I'm really just trying to take my time and find like the perfect spot. Right. You know, there's certain geographical areas we want to stay in. I want to be, you know, like Lanesboro, where we were before, and Houston now. They're kind of like little like hippie retirement communities. Mm-hmm. You know, they're generally really accepting of the arts, and they're cool with a bunch of hippies coming in for the weekend, spending money and not causing any problems and leaving. You know, so I'm trying to stay somewhere where the city isn't going to be up my ass in a year or whatever. So it's just been kind of a slow process, keeping my eyes peeled. But I'm super excited not to pay anyone else.
A really decent place with the Outback Ranch.
Outback is great. It's super professional, and like, you know, things are handled well. Jake and Holly are really nice. Their kids are nice. And they're used to holding like EDM festivals out there, so I think they were a little sketchy on us first. And after this last year, you know, we have very few issues at Galactic. People who come are cool. You know, it's family friendly. They bring their kids. Like, I love that. I don't really even need security so much, you know. All the boys always tell me it's like a paid vacation to come work for me. Which, I don't know, man. They just got to pay to put up with me. Yeah.
So, you've been in the festival scene for 8 years now?
2011, Schmoozapalooza was my very first festival. That was a super small one. There was maybe like 200 people there. Ended up we had some like biblical ass weather, and like it literally downpoured for like 3 straight days.
Biggest fear would Get Down.
Oh man.
Everything out there, get rained on, have to hide everything in the tent.
Oh honey, I have been through some weather. Like, this festival ended up on Court TV actually. It was so like, yeah, it was like a bunch of drama. My first like real festival. It was so funny. We had a viewing party for it at the Whiskey Junction. Like, everyone who was at the festival was at the bar. We watched that together on the projector. It was hilarious. But my first like real one was Bella, 2011. So it was close to the last one there. It was like that was the first year they switched over to Shangri-La. But yeah, I started just volunteering. I volunteered every festival I've ever been to, I think, still to this day, with the exception of a couple guest list spots here and there. But I always preferred to work. At least it gives me something to do, and like I don't know, I just like to be a part of it. Yeah, you contributed. I didn't just come here and party and fuck off all weekend, you know, like
partial pride ownership in the whole thing.
And like, I started out picking up trash, you know, like I was picking up garbage for 10 hours after a 5-day festival at Harmony Park, just hungover, wishing I was dead. But, you know, like, I started out doing bitch work for sure, picking up Sunday cleanup or Monday cleanup, you know, and I had friends who were working gates or working merch booths or whatever, who I ended up getting on their shifts. And Plunderfest was when I first like really got involved with something. I ended up showing up.
To go to a Plunderfest.
Oh man, Plunderfest was great. It was nuts. That's the only time I ever went to a hospital from a festival was Plunderfest. I burned my hands at 3 a.m. Oh yeah, that was fun. Catholic Hospital in St. Cloud, right in the middle of my experience as well. After I worked like 40 straight hours at the gate, finally decided to get lit. I was at the hospital like 3 hours later. But I ended up showing up for just like a regular volunteer shift for my first plunder, and a couple of my friends were running that, and they had a bunch of volunteers who bailed, so I ended up just staying at the gate pretty much all weekend. And you know, like, I've worked behind the scenes at so many festivals, and that's really where I've picked up, you know, this works, this doesn't work. Here's ways I can, you know, I've definitely taken that knowledge into throwing my own stuff. I would have never known any of this. I was already ill prepared, but I'm glad I had all those hours at festival gates.
Sacrifice. It's time, it's effort, energy. If anything goes wrong, you're the one to pick up the slack.
Yep. Years off of my life every year. I swear I don't sleep or eat for like 4 days but again, like I never feel more alive than when I'm doing that. That is the peak of my year every year, even though it's crazy and it's so much work and there's like, you know, we don't get paid unless we start making a lot more money, you know. Oh, it's okay, little dog.
So from volunteering to the first Valhalla, how'd you come to decide, you know, I did the gate for 40 hours,
Right.
now I want to do a whole one by myself?
That was a friend of mine who actually, my friend Danielle, I always kind of credit her. I tell her she created this monster. She's the one I volunteered for her cruise for so many events, and she knew Ed, who owned the sanctuary, and the person who was doing events out there decided she didn't want to do stuff there anymore. So he was kind of scrambling. You know, it was getting close to summertime. He didn't know what was going to happen at his property. And he was just talking to Danielle, and she was like, you know, I have the perfect person I think could come in and do this for you. So she gave him my number. He called me. We talked on the phone for like 2 hours. And by the end of that conversation, he was like, all right, are you ready? You're throwing a festival in 2 months. And it literally, I was at Carson's house at the time. I went and like was on the porch talking to Ed and came back in. And I was like, all right, Carson, you ready? Because we've been doing shows around Minneapolis. You know, I was doing venue shows and whatever. And, you know, I've always been a little cocky, like, all right, I could do this. Like, I could throw a festival, and I can throw a better one.
You're going to do this, and you do it.
And I watched, like, what I didn't like that was going on behind the scenes, and, you know, like, was like, okay, I think we can do something better. You know, festivals absolutely saved my life. You know, I had no friends growing up. I was really socially awkward and kind of a loner. You know, I was really depressed. And when I went to Harmony Park, I just turned 21, and I had a long-standing promise to myself that I was not going to live to see 22. And I was like, that was it. And going to Harmony Park and meeting all these amazing people and all these artists and all these musicians and really just like finding a place I fit in for the first time in my entire life just changed everything, you know. And I went into putting on events was if I could change one person's life like mine was changed, then I would consider that success. And at this point, like at risk of sounding cocky, like we've done more than that, you know, and it's so like, it's amazing. Just from the wedding we had at Valhalla with that couple, that festival was so important to them that they wanted to make that one of the most important days of their lives happen with us was just like, I don't even have words to describe how much that filled my heart up. You know, I get like a little teary-eyed just thinking about all this. We had a girl last summer who I've still never even met who got a Galactic Get Down tattoo before any of us, you know, and it's like that festival was so important to her that she put that on her body forever. Like, that is so fucking cool. I don't even have words. So my hope is just we can keep growing and we can keep doing that and we can keep changing lives.
So are the couple that are getting married at this year's Galactic the same ones who got engaged at last year's Galactic?
Oh, no. It's, oh my gosh. I'm trying to remember their names and I'm just like totally blanking. There's Michael and... Sorry, guys.
They're from the Redwood area. I know that much. They're friends.
Oh, no, not them. No. Different couple. They unfortunately broke up. It was super sad. Thanks for bringing it up. But, you know, I mean, they're still friends of mine. They're still important, you know. They've worked since Valhalla days, too, man. Mike has been my parking guru for years and years, and I don't know what I would do without him. Because, man, you don't understand how important your parking lot is until it's fucked up.
Right.
It's just like one car just ruined it for everyone. You know, and that's like forever the struggle with festivals is finding enough parking.
Mm-hmm. And not getting it too tight. It gets pretty tight sometimes.
Yes, it does. We just pulled the trigger this year right away and got like overflow parking already. We're just not dealing with it at all. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy to see how fast the designated parking filled up last year.
For real.
Pre-party day. Not even officially kicking off yet.
Right. Which is how, I mean, I prefer to get everyone in there on Thursday if we can anyway. Like, I'll have vendors that are like, yeah, I won't be there till like Friday morning. I'm just like, dude, Like, you're killing me. Please show up on Wednesday.
I'm always itching to go out Wednesday.
Yeah, God, it's so much easier to get things set up.
Whenever you go to get it set up, I'll come out. I'll help out.
Oh, weird. We'll be there Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, that's the crazy part is we have to do this setup so quick. Just venues, the cost involved is nuts. Just like to add an extra day, so we gotta make sure we have solid setup crew and just like bust ass on that Thursday and hope we don't get a rainstorm. Because last year, Wednesday, we showed up with the crew ready to work, and then it just poured rain, like, all evening. You know, we're just like, shit. We already didn't have enough time. You know? Then we ended up just getting drunk on the porch instead. Whoops. I just love working people in the morning when they're hungover after I made them drink with me.
Get up,
Sorry, not everyone can hang. Like, God. But, yeah. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of what I'm most excited for this year. We're adding a couple new features. We're adding some, like, cool, like, themed chill zones that Angela and our props team have been working on. I think it'll be pretty cool. We're building a lunar lander. Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be... We've got some really cool prop stuff going on this year. We've had, like, more time to do it. John and Crystal bought a house, so we have space to store stuff, which is always... our problems. None of us, we're all renters and we're all poor, so we don't have garages and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. We're working on one feature I'm really excited about for this year is kind of taking a leaf out of Plunderfest's book again. We burned a phoenix every year. That was kind of an effigy, a memorial for all of the people we've lost over the years. And so this year we're building, I think it's going to be a rocket ship. We're going to burn that Saturday night. And, I encourage people, bring photos, bring letters, bring whatever you want. I'll be leaving Sharpies out so people can actually write a message right on the effigy. We're going to burn that up Saturday night right before the Silent Jams. I think it'll be kind of a nice cathartic moment for all of us. Yeah. Festy fam, specifically in the last couple of years, we've experienced a lot of loss. Yeah, experienced a lot of loss. And I think this is, I just remember Plunderfest, watching that Phoenix burn. I was really new on the scene. Hadn't really met any of these people they were memorializing, but it was a nice, powerful moment of togetherness. It's a little somber, it's a little sad, but I
think that kind of thing though is just that's what locks you into that festival spirit.
I think so.
Knowing that everybody's not just there to have fun, but we're brought there by our struggles in life and everything we've gone through and the ones we've lost.
Absolutely.
It's a really wonderful feeling to just be part of that community. And the Galactic Get Down has the best community. I mean,
I'm a little biased, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What was that?
You guys made it into the city pages.
Yeah.
But you were up against
some seriously heavy hitters. To even see us printed next to the Basilica Block Party, Rock the Garden, Soundset, that's huge. That is. That was all our community and our family writing us in, and taking the time to go vote with 6 different email addresses, that was amazing. That was so cool. We never expected to win. We were not upset that we didn't win, but it was pretty cool to see us just printed with those names. That was insane. And they ended up hooking us up on some cheap advertising too, so that's been cool.
Yeah, full color, full print ad.
Yeah.
In the paper.
That's going in the archives.
Oh, I bet.
And now we partnered up with City Pages to do our ticketing as well, so we'll have a City Pages rep with us for the weekend. We're gonna be so legit. We have little hand scanners and everything. It's gonna be a real big step up for us in terms of professionalism. I won't have to handwrite all these envelopes anymore. I'm pretty excited. It's gonna make my job a lot easier running the gate. So
definitely. The group even got Smokin' Joe to Hawaii in the last
Yes, yeah, that was Galactic fam doing too.
Overwhelming. And that was, I was 8 email addresses in.
Yep, every day.
We were shouting it out on the podcast, all of our listeners, get them going.
And that's just so incredibly, it's such an incredibly humbling experience for us too, as we, we're fans. At least I will say that for John and I. Joe is a super talented musician as well. But John and I specifically, we're just fans. Like, we love this music and this scene and this community so much that to see other people vibing with that, and like, it's just humbling is the only way I can describe it. I get, it also feels pretty cool. So once in a while I get a little cocky too. Like, yeah, I did that,
I'm the shit.
I'm the shit. I know. You ain't got to tell me all day. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. The support it's crazy to see where this started, and to see just this, we could have never done this without day one support from so many people. We've had friends who buy tickets and come do volunteer shifts. I have so many friends who've worked multiple more hours than they need to, for no money. And I mean, it's just,
I know my first foray with Dead Larry goes all the way back to Fall Frolic in Iowa in like 2008, 2009. First time I listened to them, I was like, oh my God, these guys are everything. Why do they live in Iowa? I know. And then they came to Minnesota, and I was like, yes.
We are all very happy Dead Larry moved up here.
And as soon as I heard Dead Larry Festival, well, yeah.
Having that branding was super helpful right off the bat, too. Being where we were at, we were close enough to Iowa where they're from and close enough to the cities that having those two, like, strong fan bases really made it so it was possible for us to keep doing this. Like, we're not lining our pockets by any stretch of the imagination, but we haven't had to quit yet.
Right.
So, like, that's pretty exciting. We've managed.
For Galactic Get Down 10.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. So hopefully someday all the like posters and all the old school shirts and stuff will be worth money. Like some OG Woodstock shit. I'm just hoping someday I don't have to work a day job. That's the dream.
That is the dream. That's the American dream.
And I'm used to being poor, so, I don't even need that much.
It helps you guys have supportive fans, too. I see a lot of musicians that I know, and they're great, talented musicians, but it's like the mass majority of people don't want to see you succeeding doing something easier than what they do to keep everything going.
Right.
And that kills a lot of it for a lot of people.
Yeah. I know so with, the way the economy is and whatever, we're heading towards, like, a bubble's going to burst here pretty soon. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that goes, obviously, when you're budgeting is your entertainment budget. And it's important to us to try and stay, in a mid-range so we're still affordable for people, a wide range of people to come enjoy. Like, I don't want to get like Electric Forest, or just like $400 for a ticket and then $100 for a camping pass and then, blah, 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 blah. Like, we always want to keep this accessible. Mm-hmm. And obviously, the bigger bands we book, the more expensive tickets are going to have to be. But we never want to get to like this obscene, this just huge level. Right. Money-wise, that would be great. Like, the people who throw Electric Forest are loaded. But like that wouldn't make me feel as good as what Galactic does.
It's the comfort level is a great thing too. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the big festivals keep me away, just like I said earlier, with the mass amount of people there.
Oh, same. Harmony Park has gotten almost too big for me now. Like, Shangri-La is too much. I don't feel safe. I don't feel like not physically.
Every year everybody leaves and you got this guitar was stolen, this person's tent was broken into, everything's gone, keys are missing.
Yep. Cars getting stolen, like, and that's so sad to me. And like going into like Galactic or Secret Circus or Oktoberfest, these smaller events, I feel so much more. I'll leave my wallet out on my bed all day, and I wouldn't even be worried about it. I would never do that at Shangri-La now, or like we try really hard, and it's really important to us to create a space for at least a few days where everything just isn't shitty. Like, the rest of the world is so hard, and a lot of us are struggling so much all the time that I just want, even if it's just 3 days, if we can create 3 days where things are just comfortable, like, that's That's beautiful. And I'm super grateful to our Galactic community for maintaining those standards. You know, there's always going to be a few bad apples here and there, but you can bet, like, we're going to deal with that as quickly and as decisively as we can.
Yes.
You know, we've had an issue last year that will always break my heart, but again, my security team handled this with a quickness. The whole rest of our crew handled everything safely, smoothly, quietly, you know, and like that's beautiful to see a team activate like that so seamlessly. And to work with, you know, I'm sure you are aware the issue of sexual assault is an issue that's very important to me, and especially within the festival community. And to see, you know, I have 2 men on my team. My primary partners are 2 men. That these issues don't affect them, so they don't have to care, but they fucking do. Like, I'm so grateful to work with 2 strong male allies who, you know, if an issue does come up, they generally defer to the ladies on the team and go with what we decide, you know, and that's great.
Needs to be more men in the world like that.
I agree. It would make it a lot better. You know, and just working with like Beefcake Security Squad, I've worked with them over the years to watch out for certain things in certain situations and try to help people avoid situations before they get too out of hand and whatever, you know, and they care and they pay attention, and that's beautiful. I just want, you know, it will forever frustrate me that we can't just have one space that's nice for like a few days, you know. That's why we can't have nice things.
Right. I think that's the key, though, is keeping it in that medium range, and it's got to be more and more of a challenge every year with more attention coming in.
I mean, eventually it'll just get to a point like, you know, where Project Earth does, they sell out every year, and that's the number of tickets that they sell, and that's it. And, you know, like that's eventually how that'll have to be. And, you know, it's not like we don't want to disclude anyone, but keeping it at a 1,500 to 2,000 attendees is really, it's controllable. You know, it really, the vibe can start to get really out of hand after
the local police force coming in to help out.
Right. And we're lucky down there. Like, the local police force is very well aware of us. I actually had to deal with them Sunday morning at the last Galactic at Good Enough. Long story short, we didn't have a permit even though we thought we did. And the cop, honestly, he was like, I don't really care about that. We just got a noise complaint. It was like 5:30 in the morning when Space Monster was still playing. And I was like, okay.
They're always playing.
Right?
Once they get on stage, they're just...
And they had just finished, you know, it was good. I was like, yeah, it's fine. That was the end of it. You know, and this cop was super cool. You know, just one guy, which coming from the cities, you got one cop coming out of this car. Like, are you kidding me? He was like 60. He was super nice. I rolled up with all those balloons on my golf cart. I had like 10,000 freaking like balloons on this cart. Just squeak, 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 squeak. Roll up. This guy looks me up and down. He was like, oh. So, you're the one in charge here? Just like, yeah, like, I guess. Are you going to arrest me? Because in that case, no. Let me go get Joe. He'll talk his way out of this. But yeah, you know, the cops down there are cool. We're not causing them any problems. I've never had to call the police or any, like, emergency services or anything like that. So as long as we keep the vibe tight, I think the cops are just going to leave us alone.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, Galactic Get Down, one of the most outstanding things to me is how early the music tends to cut off. But
yeah, I mean, silent jams go till like 3-4 in the morning, but it's silent, you know. And we don't have too many noise issues there with like being in the valley.
Yeah, you're right in a bowl,
but
so you'd think most of it would be nice and contained.
Yeah, we do just like to be respectful of the neighbors and whatever, because they're the people who let things keep going. You know, never want to create problems for the property owner.
And
then
it
you're
also
screwed.
pushes the family-friendly vibe. You know, everybody who brings their kids has got to turn in at a reasonable time.
Right. That's nice with having the grounds the way it is, or it's just like it's so long, is you can go back towards the back, and it's really chill and quiet back there. I remember Thursday night last year driving around in my cart, and like seriously, I feel like the whole place was asleep by like 2-3 a.m. It was eerie. I'm driving around with security, like just like crickets. It's like, wow, okay. Everyone taking a nap so they can rage all weekend. I love that. Way to be responsible.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
No, this is by far, I think, the most responsible festival series I've been to, and it's refreshing.
It is.
You know, when I was young and dumb, I wanted to go and rage, but I'm older now. I'm old.
Right?
I'm
Me too.
31, 2 kids.
I'm old. I'm tired. Like, it's hot.
I'll have a couple beers in a day. That's about what I did last year.
Oh, I can still drink. One thing
Like
I'm good at is
going around that bottle of
drinking.
Tango.
I know it's iconic. I almost feel like I have to do it all the time now. I haven't been drinking much
You got
lately, and I'm
holsters
just
for
like,
it yet? Like,
oh no. I should have those made for sure. Handle 175 holsters, like. I had to stash that bottle before I went and talked to that cop. Luckily, somebody gave me the heads up. So I was definitely driving up to the gate, handle tucked under my arm. Like, but you can't get a DWI on private property.
Right.
On a golf cart, at least. Maybe in a car, I don't know. But on a golf cart, I know you cannot.
That'd have been bad rolling up there with a bottle tucked in your arm in a car.
Right. It's like, yes,
what's going
officer,
on?
how can I help you? Yes, I'm in charge here.
This is my festival.
Killing it. Super
Bumper car
responsible.
mania.
What do we got on time here? I feel like I've been talking forever.
15 minutes or
Nice.
so. Yes.
I mean, I can talk forever, so everyone who knows me knows that.
Well, is there any other important things you want to get on? I know there's been an epidemic going on. It's been affecting a lot of the community lately.
Yeah, we did on the Smoke and Joe show last week. We sat down with our friend Kat, talk about just this opiate epidemic raging through many of our communities. It's just definitely not just the festival community. I guess, yeah, the best. I just continuously, I feel like a broken record with this advice. You know, if you are using, if you know anyone who's using, get Narcan, get trained. It's really, really easy to administer Narcan, either the shot or the nasal spray. It's easy to get for free, especially in Minneapolis. There's multiple organizations that will teach you and get you kits. It's just something. I live in South Minneapolis, right, maybe a mile from where the homeless encampment was last summer. So I'm seeing, that's on my streets every day. I'm seeing on the police scanner every day people within blocks of my house slumped over, overdosed, and it's this fentanyl and this carfentanil and these synthetics that are cutting almost everything now. It's not just a heroin problem. It's not just a cocaine problem. Like, they've seen it show up in pot. They've seen it show up on paper LSD. Like, it's not a joke. Use slow. Don't use alone. Get test kits. Bunk Police has great test kits you can get online. Unfortunately, as a promoter and as organizers of an event, we put ourselves at great risk for felony prosecution if we allow any harm reduction groups in any official capacity. I personally would love to have Dance Safe or Bunk Police out there. Our whole team is united on that. Harm reduction is so important, and I wish that we could officially...
You couldn't get them in even just to drive awareness?
We can't. So the RAVE Act, are you familiar with the RAVE Act?
Vaguely, I've kind of read up on it a little bit. Since
it basically, it's super vague, the language of it.
As is most bullshit rules.
Right. But the RAVE Act makes it a prosecutable offense as a festival promoter or an event organizer. We can be charged with a felony of profiteering off of drug sales by just acknowledging the fact that drug use happens. That can be considered profiting off of drugs. So, this is what kind of happened at Camp Zoe too. This guy lost his whole property, lost everything because he was throwing an event that people got busted selling drugs at. And it's not, so it's really risky, and like us as a smaller event probably wouldn't be as much of a risk as, like, say, Bonnaroo.
Right.
But Bunk Police still goes out to these big events. They just go rogue and they pop up until they get shut down, and then they move somewhere else and pop back up again, which I think is great that they're willing to go rogue like that. And I know I guess I can't speak for every promoter, but the vast majority of us would rather have our people be safe.
Right.
I would love to be able to invite those organizations in, and it's very frustrating that our lawmakers would rather just ignore the problem than help us save people. But that said, you know, I'll have Narcan on me. Other people will have that. It's a judgment-free zone. We just don't want, you know, we don't want anyone dying around us. Yes, please. Buddy system is the way to go, you know. I'm not out here just telling addicts to stop being addicts because that's not realistic.
No, it's not.
But
it's the easiest way to go, but it doesn't accomplish anything.
Use slow. Don't use alone. Don't lock the door. You know, that kind of... There's so many better ways we could go about solving these problems, but we're just... You know, legally our hands are tied too. And this was so much easier back in the day when I was just going rogue and there was no, you know, I had no oversight. But unfortunately, now we have to think like a business, which is kind of strange for me sometimes. I watch what I say sometimes.
Right, yeah. So we've got about 10 minutes left.
Do we want to play some Galactic music? I don't know.
I don't have the MP3 file.
Do we have any questions in the chat?
I did want to ask about the Seahorse Productions band Itis, who have seemingly been
yeah.
in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think, you know, Wyatt, their drummer, was just kind of interested. He was never really, like, super into playing drums, anyway, from what I understand. Wyatt's gotten, I don't know, you've probably seen his stuff on Facebook. He's an absolutely amazing photographer. And I think that's been something he's a lot more into. You know, Chris has a kid. Andrew's got a kid. They're all gotten married and had babies. And, you know, I think I would love to see them get back together. Like, I love Itis forever.
So
I know.
And they were incredibly unique to the shows that they played. Nobody sounded like them.
That's why I loved having them and like Dead Larry on the same bill, you know, because it was not just the usual preachy medicine wook music I always have to listen to at festivals, you know. it was some good like rock and roll, some good reggae, some good hip hop all rolled into one. I miss them a lot. They were super instrumental to me ever like really starting a company or anything. I had an amazing experience with them at Project Earth in like 2013, I want to say, that led to like me finally just being like, yeah, like I'm going to do this. I'm going to go for it. And it was shortly after that I started working on Valhalla, and yeah, it was pretty nuts. I think it was that project. It was maybe the next week that I started talking to Ed. And I had that experience with those boys at Harmony Park, and like the whole universe just fell into place after that. It was like, okay, you made the decision. Now I'm gonna work with you a little bit. It was it was pretty cool. Hopefully someday we can get the boys back together. I don't know.
So are there still volunteer positions for Galactic this year?
Yes, always. I always have room for people who want to work. It's a 8-hour shift. You'll get a meal. We have like a whole hospitality crew going to be cooking meals every day. I'm your boss, so it's not that terrible as long as you don't fuck up.
Depends on how hot it is.
Yeah, it can be brutal, I will say for sure. As I'm sitting in like my air-conditioned cabin watching people pick up trash. But hey, man, I have picked up a lot of trash. Oh, yeah. So I feel for you. I'm just not going to do it anymore.
So paid your dues.
I've paid my dues. Yeah, I've still got volunteer shifts. We're still accepting. We have a few vendor spots open.
And tickets are still available at galacticgetdown.com.
Yep. $100 right now. There'll be $125 at the gate.
Get you some rocket socks too while you're at it.
Yes, we have hella merch. We got wet dong t-shirts and tank tops for those of you who know, you know about the wet dong. We got these really awesome rocket socks, yoga shorts. There's a really sweet backpack that I've been eyeing for a while. We got some fun merch. We'll have, all galacticgetdown.com. You can check out like all of our live artist bios. We've got music bios. We'll get all of our fire camp info up shortly. Just be aware, if you do want to spin fire at Galactic Get Down this year, you do need to be insured. So that's been something that's been met with a little bit of pushback from the community. But just, I mean, it's just, it's scary out here in this Sioux happy society.
Yeah.
You know, we just got to cover our asses, and it's better than just removing fire spinning in general, because I know I like to watch it.
It's a necessity.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Thankfully, we have Fogo Fire from last year into this
great.
year, killing it. I'm so proud. It's so nice to see such a professionally run, safe camp.
Are they still going to be in relatively the same
Same
area?
spot,
Okay.
yep. We're actually setting up the launch pad right across from them. So late night, third stage jams right by fire camp. It's going to be great. Got kind of a new site set up this year, moving vendors into the campground. We're not going to have cars parked in there. I think it's going to be a nice setup for everyone. Still have a couple RV spots left too, I believe.
Excellent. Yeah,
Those
was
are
filled
going
in real
quick.
last year.
Yeah, those are going quick. We have a very limited amount, so if you want your RV sites, get them while they're hot.
Yep. And get there to find your camping or your tent spots too, pretty early.
Yeah.
I know I set my tent down in about 5 or 6 different locations last year. I was like, nope, RV spot.
Oh.
Okay.
We're really gonna try and mark those off better this year. Like I said, we had that freak rainstorm last year that
Right.
just like cut out about 6 hours of our prep time. So, and if I have all my volunteers show up this year, we'll be sitting all right.
I'm looking forward to it. It's my favorite time of the year.
Mine too. I feel like it's all I ever talk about all the time ever. It's like the only important thing in my life. Especially right now, I've got injured in April, so I just haven't been working. I've just been like at home.
Yeah, you gotta take care. Oh my god! This is the second time now.
Yep, different foot though.
Different foot.
Broke the ankle 3 years ago. Broke the foot this year. I'm just glad it wasn't worse, because I was like I'm counting weeks, just like shit. Like I gotta be walking by July. So hopefully I'll be out of this boot by then. But I might still wear it just in case. I'm thinking like full metal leg braces, like up to my hips.
Yeah.
Just forever.
Can't happen again. Some titanium.
A bubble, perhaps.
There you go.
A hamster bubble. Good Lord.
I had those inflatable balls.
Right? I just need it air conditioned up in there,
There
because
you
you
go.
know I'll die.
Oxygen. Yeah. Yes, Galactic Get Down. Best time of the year. If you haven't been, go. That's all
Yeah.
I gotta say.
You've already missed
only
out on the
complaint,
beginning.
Needs more hip hop. We got some this year.
Yeah?
And nobody told me, or I would have been like, hey.
You can blame Joe Scarps for that. Just make sure you submit. All these bands, you know, I think it's funny.
So after this year, we're submitting next
Yeah.
year. For sure.
I think it's super funny, because we'll literally, we'll release the final lineup on all of our social media, and it's written all over everywhere, like, final lineup announcement. This is the final lineup announcement. And we'll get just like this influx of inbox messages like, hey, how do I get my band on this lineup? And it's like, dude, hit us up in November.
Keep me in mind, please.
Which we have had happen, unfortunately.
Well,
But
if somebody drops off, keep me in
Word.
mind. I'll already be there.
right, we will. But yeah, so submit in November-ish. November is when we open up submissions. We usually close them by like January. So any interested bands, hit us up in the fall for
That's
next
the
year.
thing. Right before winter, that's when
Yep.
you need to start booking your festivals. I learned that stuff back in 2009.
Right. And there's all these young bands too. I'm like, oh, honey, okay. But yeah. www.galacticgetdown.com. I cannot stress that enough. We have a really awesome website Romy made for us. Romerdome Familia. Been very supportive from Jump Street. They run the Ohm Dome out at Harmony Park as well.
I definitely want to have him on the show sometime soon. So if you're listening,
Romy,
get a
what
hold
up?
of me. Any musicians listening, you want to come on the podcast, hit me up. Let's get this going. Also, we'll be podcasting at the Galactic Get Down all weekend, so any performing acts there, feel free to stop by. We'll do a little short interview, and then maybe we can set something up down the line.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for having me. This was great.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Dealing with the most awkward radio host in the state of Minnesota.
No, nobody's more awkward than me. I guess I had my radio show in Wisconsin, so you can still be the most awkward one in Minnesota.
Okay. It's the only thing I got. All right, folks. At the head of the show, you did hear Smolder by Reese Hartfelt, Sing My Song by Izzy Dunfor, Gold Jacket, the song by Professor Fresh, and a doubleheader by Professor Fresh with The Heisman, both off his Gold Jacket EP. Not his newest album, but a really good one. Had to share that with you folks. As always, Get Local Minnesota is brought to you by Qualities T-Shirt Company of Wilmer, Minnesota, and Monster Wear Clothing, and as always, the Galactic Get Down. They might not sponsor us, but we take it to heart.
We ain't got no money, man.
It's our festival. We've been there since year one. I take partial ownership in that shit, too.
Good. That's what we love.
Yes.
That's what I love about Galactic is really people do... They really have, like, made it theirs. And they'll take it upon themselves, you know, and to see... like Dustin, who runs our fire camp, Fogo Fire, you know, to see where he's grown with just having that responsibility to do that with us is amazing. You know, he's so on the ball, so on top of it. Rules, regulations, like it's beautiful. It's safe. It's amazing. Super happy. It's great to see everyone grow with us. We love you. We appreciate you.
Hi, Joe. You were late as fuck. I'm late as fuck. We're all late as fuck. He says hi, Jess.
Hi, Joe.
He is tuning in.
It's about time. We're about to sign right off.
Yes.
Oh, Joe's here. Everybody get out of here.
Well, he'll be able to catch it on demand tomorrow, or actually probably just about 20 minutes after we get done recording here. Yes, if you missed the beginning, you can tune in and catch it again. For Cloud Style Broadcasting and Get Local Minnesota, I'm Pasty, or Josh, but I prefer Pasty. Thank you for being on the show.
Good night.
Good night.